Hello, Nigeria. Welcome to Newsline. I am Becky Marujemu. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your presence so very much. This edition is special because the celebration train is longer than usual. The Salah is why our lineup has that carnival flavor, complete with prestigious durbers, entertaining cultural dances, and fine dining. In the middle of the festivities is a royal wedding between a princess and a beau, then some reality check when we take a look at the growing rate of suicide, especially among young people. Our motive is to present measures capable of discouraging the abominable act. And the debate on whether or not to write a will comes in the final segment. Let's quickly join Elizabeth Omoriye in Abuja for the day's news. It's great to see you, Lizzie. Really.
Nice to see you too, Becky. Good evening, and thanks for joining us on the news segment of the program. Nigeria's Fourth Republic progresses, with the National Assembly moving into its 9th session to be inaugurated on Tuesday, 11th of June 2019. In this package, National Assembly correspondent Omotola Omojola takes a look at the preparations for the new assembly and expected outcomes.
The National Assembly is devoid of the usual activities it is known for. The hours are quiet and the chambers and offices locked. Artisans work at different points to make the environment as perfect for the incoming legislators, 469 of them, and they will be here in a matter of hours. While many of them are new to the game, some are masters who will be returning into the ranks. Security check goes on as staff in charge put finishing touches for the inauguration of the 9th Assembly. At the center of all of this is Sani Omolori, clerk of the National Assembly. This year, he shall perform his first inauguration since assuming the position.
I can say with all sense of responsibility that everything that we need to do, we have done it. The staffs are working around the clock. The various committees have submitted their reports. We've coordinated everything, and I think to a very large extent, satisfactorily, we are prepared.
It is always dramatic in the red and green chambers, especially with matters of national interest at stake.
It is not about personality, it's about institution. You are working as an institution and you must allow the institution to function well for the progress of the nation. If you take personal interest into the field, you end up destabilizing the national interest, and that is not what it's supposed to be.
Within the contents of our own schedules, we have always been supporting them as bureaucrats. So I also want to think that that will continue in the 9th Assembly.
In a matter of hours, elections will hold in the 2 chambers of the National Assembly, and new photo frames will join these past speakers and presidents of the Senate on the NAS Wall of Fame. But beyond these are pertinent questions of how they hope to open up the People's Court for citizens' engagement and work effectively with the executive for the welfare of all. From the National Assembly, Omotola Omojola, NTA News.
And still on the 9th Assembly, Forum of first-time members of the House of Representatives has endorsed Femi Gbajabiamila and Idris Wase team for the speakership position of the 9th National Assembly. Correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports.
With the inauguration of the 9th National Assembly counting down in hours, Femi Wase campaign organization is leaving nothing to chance in ensuring victory for its candidates. The organization has lured the forum of first-time members of the House of Representatives to key into the initiative. Now, the forum has come zone by zone across party lines to endorse Femi Wase's candidature for the speakership position.
By the special grace of God, North Central are not going to disappoint or come Tuesday. We will be there live and will not miss one vote.
All the newly elected members, we have unanimously agreed to cast our votes in favor of Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila.
We are assuring you, this is not a Yoruba project. It is a nation building. We are building our country.
House leader Femi Gbajabiamila and his deputy Idris Wase are full of gratitude and pledged to reflect the hopes and aspirations of Nigerians through quality legislation and cordial working relationship with the executive arm of government if elected.
We should be going into the 9th Assembly with is a mindset
to go and do what is good for the country, Nigeria. It's going to be a night assembly of reforms. And those reforms are going to be positive reforms that is going to pay you, it's going to pay your people, it's going to pay the country.
The team believes that the support given by about 183 first-time members will be replicated at the inauguration day. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Now, the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development has directed all concerned parties to maintain the status quo ante on all matters pertaining to the Executive Council of the National Youth Council of Nigeria. The ministry, in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary Olushade Adeshola, dissociates itself from the proposed inauguration of the Interim National Executive Council of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, scheduled for Monday, the 10th of June 2019. The Permanent Secretary says in this exercise of his supervisory responsibility, this is necessary to prevent the breakdown of law and order. He asks all parties to keep on hold any activity until the reconstitution of the Federal Executive Council and the appointment of a Minister in Youth and Sports Development. Members of the public are advised to disregard any contrary information on the subject matter. Now to security. The Nigerian Army is intensifying efforts at winning the confidence of the populace through gestures and enhanced civil-military relations as a strategy to ensure the success of ongoing internal security operations across the country. To this end, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukobrate, has inaugurated a water project in Command Science School in Shaki, Oyo State. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
At last, Shaki community, the food basket of Oyo State, have water after suffering for long.
This is something very new and genuine to our people here.
This 55,000 and 60,000 litre overhead and surface tank capacity water project with a dedicated 17.5 kVA generator is courtesy of the Nigerian Army. It is part of the effort to develop mutual ties and civil military relations. The involvement of the military in internal security operations means more than just kinetic measures using guns, but also winning the hearts and minds of the populace. And this gesture is one which is geared towards that.
This water project is one of the several civil military cooperation related activities and quick impact projects undertaken by the Nigerian Army in various parts of the country.
It is also a part of Nigerian Army's efforts to ensure sustained peace and development, as well as appreciate the good people of Shaki in Oyo State for their cooperation with the Nigerian Army.
There's more in the offering for the Shaki community. The first Command Science Boarding Secondary School is coming on in September this year.
The school will also serve as a veritable medium of fostering national integration in view of enrollment of students from the various parts and sections of the country.
From Shaki in Oyo State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
In still talking security, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, has urged Air Force personnel to redouble their efforts by engaging security threats with rugged optimism and renewed determination. This was the message sent to the Nigerian Air Force Special Troops stationed in the Forward Operations Base, Pandogari, Rafi local government area of Niger State. Dauda Mohammed reports.
Following an attack on some communities in Rafi local government area of Niger State by armed bandits in February this year, Special Forces troops from the Nigerian Air Force and Army were drafted to Pandogari to ensure normalcy is returned to the area after the displacement of more than 1,400 villagers. The visit by the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, represented by the Commander 351 Base Services Group, Nigerian Air Force Mina, Air Commodore Suleiman Kabir Usman to the Forward Operations Base Pandogari, Rafi local government area of Niger State, is to boost the troops' morale and give them a sense of belonging.
I therefore enjoin you all to redouble your efforts and engage the security challenges with rugged optimism.
The troops were later treated to a variety of dishes, courtesy of the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar. The Commander Base Services Group, Nigerian Air Force Mina, Air Commodore Suleiman Kabir Usman, later had an interactive meeting with the troops and inspected some damaged vehicles on some of the facilities at the base.
We are doing everything possible to make sure that they don't have freedom of movement in this general area, and we don't allow them to infiltrate the communities.
This gesture of bringing home-cooked food to troops operating in forward operation bases around the country by the Nigerian Air Force is part of the High Command's gesture of boosting morale and ensuring sustained fight against banditry and other forms of insecurity across the country. From Pandogari, Rafi local government area of Niger State, Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Meanwhile, a statement just coming in says President Muhammadu Buhari has written the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Tanko Mohammed, on the appointment of additional 5 justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The President requests that he initiates in earnest the process of appointing additional 5 justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria to make the full complement of 21 justices as provided by the aforementioned provisions of the Constitution. This is in line with the government's agenda of repositioning the judiciary in general and Supreme Court, in particular for greater efficiency, with a view to reducing the backlogs of appeals pending at the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has accepted the voluntary retirement from service of Honorable Justice Walter Onoge as Chief Justice of Nigeria, effective from May 28, 2019. The President thanked Justice Onoge for his service to the Federation and wished him the best of retirement life. Now to other issues of concern. The use of chemicals to improve store farm produce or control weights is gradually becoming a major tradition among farmers across Nigeria. Although the chemicals are effective, there are concerns that some of the substances have negative impact on humans and the environment. Musa Babari tells us more.
Farmers in the past relied on the use of organic farming techniques in cultivating their crops. Natural methods were used to control insect infestations, diseases, and also to improve yields. Yusuf Ali, a vegetable farmer in Abuja, says it takes a longer time to control pests through the local system. So the use of chemicals became imperative, he says.
We have different types of control. We have the chemical control, we have cultural control, we have biological control. So the combination of this type of control methods is what we call integrated pest control.
In recent times, however, there have been concerns over the negative impact of pesticide on human health and the environment.
You just don't apply pesticide today and tomorrow you go and harvest or you go and consume that same vegetable. The label will tell you if you had applied this pesticide, you need to wait 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, or 1 week. This period is to allow for the pesticide to biodegrade to a non-poison or non-toxic level.
Are Nigerians aware of the side effects of these chemicals on vegetables and how to treat them before consumption?
Nigerian groundnuts is not going out of the country because they feel it has problem of aflatoxin.
If it is must to put Madam Footy very little, so that should not affect our people, because there is an ant. If you not use chemical to kill them, the vegetable is not going to grow well.
As the government is making efforts towards ensuring that food items to be exported are free from toxics, agriculturists are advocating same for consumables in Nigeria to protect the health of the people. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Now, burnt victims of the bus truck collision along Akure-Owo Expressway in Akure North local government area of Ondo State have been given a mass burial. Toyin Bati reports that the deceased were coming from Lagos and heading to Gombe.
The accident, which occurred at 3:30 a.m. on Saturday, involved an 18-passenger commercial bus with registration number YLA25XU Adamawa and a truck with registration number GG872XM. According to an eyewitness and the State Police Public Relations Officer, the truck driver lost control of the vehicle and collided with the passenger bus, which resulted in the two vehicles catching fire immediately.
The accident for us, via our preliminary investigation, was quite avoidable. if not for the fact that he left his own lane and rammed into this bus. So we want to use this opportunity to sympathize with the families of the deceased. It was quite sad.
Some members of the families of the deceased have evacuated the remains of the victims for a mass burial in line with Islamic injunction.
So I started to receive the family call that they are coming and they approve me to go and bury them.
The Hausa community head urged stakeholders to work out sustainable preventive measures to check road accidents along the Owo Expressway. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NT News.
And now to sports. Super Eagles technical crew points to weather for result against Zimbabwe in Delta State. Amanzi Marcus has stated on the 17th of April 2019. A statement from the family says the funeral will take place on the 15th of June 2019 at Nong Ukim village in Ikono local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Now a quick look at the weather prospect for Monday.
There, I am Theodora Eatum. The past 24 hours, we experienced pockets of light rains across the central region down to the coastal belts, with thunderstorms over the northern region. So the weather for Monday, we equally expect light rains over the coastal states and the inland areas of the south. Residents of the central cities are also expected to experience pockets of light rains. However, thunderstorms are likely over the northern region, places like Maiduguri, Dutse, Sokoto and Katsina. As we go through the day, the afternoon holds better prospects for weather activities as we anticipate thunderstorms over the northern region. Light to moderate rains are also expected over the central cities down to the coastal belts, with a few chances of thunderstorms over the high grounds of the central cities. And that's our bit from here. Thank you for watching.